Hey guys, I hope we're doing well. Signs that someone could be struggling with addiction, because it's not always obvious. And a lot of people who are stuck in addiction, who were stuck in addiction, including myself, become very good at hiding things until they no longer can, because it gets worse and worse over time, and your whole life can end up collapsing. I would say the first thing is people becoming really unreliable, and this is especially true when cocaine is involved. Things like cancelling appointments, cancelling plans, not showing up when you say you're going to, not doing what you say you were going to do, because the behaviours, the drug starts to take over and you become unreliable. That is the nature of it. And that pattern gets worse over time. And people do start to pick up on it. That's what happened in my own experience. I became very unreliable. I couldn't really deliver on anything that I said I was going to do. Always letting people down. That'll be the first thing. Another thing would be secret behaviour. And again, this is something I can massively relate to. Always trying to hide something, even if it's just messages on my phone, something like that. Or don't want someone to see those messages from a dealer or something like that. So you can become quite secretive. And again, especially true around cocaine use. So that'll be another thing to look out for, secret behaviour. The third one is quite an obvious one, the financial cost. And again, it's something I can relate to massively. When I was stuck in addiction, I was still earning pretty good money, but I never had any money because I always owed people money. I was always borrowing money. Hello, mate. I was always borrowing money off people. I never had a penny really spare, because that's the nature of addiction. It's expensive and it creates a lot of financial problems. So if someone's always seems to be struggling with money, but maybe has a really good job, that could be a sign that they are struggling with some kind of addiction. Another thing would be when people stop behaving like themselves. And this is something that, again, I can relate to massively. Because when you're stuck in addiction, it takes away your true personality. You become very numb, very disinterested in life, really. You only become interested in feeding the addiction more. When you start to get clean and sober, personality starts to come back and you feel like yourself. So if you're noticing someone, their behaviour starting to change, personality changes, financial problems, that could be another sign. When I was stuck in my addiction, especially towards the end, I really did start to look extremely unwell. And people were then starting to ask questions. Lee, what's going on? You don't look well. Maybe just been on the back of a 3-day bender, looking terrible physically and mentally wrecked. And people can feel that type of energy when something's not quite right. And I would become extremely defensive when people would ask, Lee, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. I'd shut them down immediately. And I think if someone's doing that, that could be another sign they're struggling. If someone's shutting that down aggressively, immediately, no, I'm fine, could be a sign, really, they are starting to struggle. So guys, there you have it. There's a few things there that are signs that someone could be struggling with addiction. For me, it went on for a lot of years before people started to pick up on it. Because the longer you're stuck in addiction, you start to become better at hiding it until you no longer can, until life does start falling apart, especially when things like cocaine are involved. So guys, if you can relate to any of this stuff at all, please leave a comment. If you're on your own sobriety journey at the moment, let me know how you're getting on. I'd love to know how you're doing and where you're at. If you're interested in addiction recovery content and rebuilding after, because that's some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about, rebuilding life after addiction. Because getting clean and sober is one thing, rebuilding a life after is another. If you're interested in that, hit subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week.